Hi, I'm Bill Hanna.
And I'm Jenn Aldoy, and we are the Start Packing team. So today our term is going to be prepaids. We hear this a lot, lenders speak of it, it's in our contracts. What exactly are prepaids, Bill?
You'll see it in the contract when it says the seller is contributing to the buyer's closing cost and prepaids. Closing costs themselves are exactly those items that relate to the closing cost. Prepaids are additional items that the buyer is responsible for. However, they're not part of the closing cost. They're taxes. If they're doing, if they're escrowing, they will have to have some basically seed money up front to get the tax escrow started up. It could be HOA fees. There's several things that I'm just kind of looking here at some notes I made.
Insurance.
Insurance.
Yeah.
Insurance.
Usually you have to have what, a year binder?
A year binder on insurance. So that could be. It's also kind of a catch-all that if a contract is written that says closing cost and prepaids for $3,000, for instance, and the closing costs come up to $2,500, then there's $500 of excess that they can put towards their additional cost that is out of pocket to the buyer.
Perfect.
So the subject matter today is, and a lot of people asking, especially first-time buyers, what's the difference between an appraisal and an inspection?
We get this a lot. So the gist of it would be a general home inspection is paid for by the buyer. It is the buyer's way of having someone come through, look at their potential home from top to bottom, check the roof, check the windows, if it's accessible, the crawl in the attic. All of these things that are found in the report are more of just an information for buyers to know what's coming down the pipeline of their home. For instance, if the furnace is on its last leg, they need to bank some money knowing that a furnace is going to be coming up. When you have a bank appraisal, some buyers feel like it's the same thing. The appraisal is on behalf of the bank. If it's an FHA or a VA appraisal, they're going to be looking for safety items such as GFCIs, within any source of water of 6 feet. They're going to be looking for handrails, making sure electrical's up to date. It's a little bit similar to an inspection, but the main point is if someone was to foreclose on the property, is the bank going to get their money back? Is it valued at the amount that they're purchasing it for?
And, we have seen people before that if they're doing a VA or an FHA, thinking of that safety type inspection, that will cover the inspection issues. We try to educate our buyers that they really do need a full-fledged inspection instead of just that safety part that goes along with the appraisal for a government-backed loan.
So two separate things. They are similar. We understand how they could be confused, but definitely two separate things. One is just for your knowledge. The other is because the bank is saying it has to be done.
Again, I'm looking here at Susan from North Baltimore. Says,
hi, Susan.
How long does it take to get the appraisal back?
Great question. Typically, the appraisal will be a 7 to 10 day window. First, it will depend. It's basically the spin of a wheel of who the appraiser is. Once the appraiser accepts the job, they usually have a certain amount of time set by the lender for when that appraisal has to be back. So let's just say you get the order. Let's go on the high side of 7 to 10 business days for them to accept it, and then another 7 to 10 business days for the report to be in. So it could take potentially 14 days, 2 weeks to get your appraisal back. So it's a big piece of the puzzle towards the end, but it's usually what we're waiting on the longest.
And to add to that, the appraisal comes back to the bank. The bank will notify the buyer, and typically they'll send it on to the buyer, but it does not go back to the seller. The buyer has paid for that appraisal and is owner of the appraisal. However, If there are conditions that have to be met, then the agents will get involved and the seller will learn what needs to be done for that type of financing and the appraisal.
And conditions can be a great question and a great term. So maybe if you tune in next week, you'll learn what a condition is.
Thank you. Until we see you again, have a great day.
And remember, be kind.